Hello, Peppa Pigs. Hi, Wolves. It's good to see you, Pinas. And Teen Titans, you're on board too. All right, so here is some note taking for you for the Cell Basics number 2 note taking worksheet. So you should have that up and ready to go as you're watching this video. And then you can also go back and um, look at things with the slideshow as well. All right, so we are going to start with the cell basics. I want you just to notice here the reason for the yellow blocks is that you can type in those yellow blocks, make them smaller, doesn't matter. They can go bigger or smaller, and answer the questions that are there. And then you can go ahead and turn that in when you are done with it. All right, make sure that you attach it to Classroom and turn it in. All right, so we are going to begin on slide number 9 of the slideshow, and this will follow right through for you to the worksheet that you currently have up and are looking at. So there are many different similarities among the cells, and you will see many different things. In many celled organisms like plants and animals, and especially you, there are many specialized cells. For example, you have cells, you have blood cells, you have red blood cells, and you have white blood cells, and there are all kinds of different things. But all cells share some common characteristics. You can see here that they're talking about organelles and the membranes, DNA, and cytoplasm. So there are similarities among the cells. All cells are surrounded by a cell membrane. All cells contain organelles. All cells contain cytoplasm. And all cells contain DNA. There are two kinds of cells. The first one that we're going to talk about are prokaryotic cells. And these are cells that do not have a nucleus. It is the belief among most scientists that all life on Earth came from this kind of cell, this very old and ancient type of cell. The only thing in our world today that is this type of cell is in fact bacteria. The second kind of cell is a eukaryotic cell. It has a nucleus and a membrane, membrane covered organelles. They are larger than the prokaryotic cells, and all animals and plants, as well as fungi and protists, have eukaryotic cells. Here you can see a chart that compares the two different kinds of cells and the fact that the prokaryotic cells don't have a nucleus, the eukaryotic cells do. Organelles are not membrane covered in the prokaryotic, and they are in the eukaryotic. DNA is just kind of bunched up in the center of the cell. DNA is found in the nucleus of the eukaryotic. You can see that here in the pictures. Do you see how the DNA is just kind of, this is the prokaryotic, it's just kind of strung out there in the middle, and in the eukaryotic, it's inside the nucleus. Organelles are small structures within the cell that carry out very specific functions. If you want, you can think of each cell as a factory. Okay? Each part of the cell has its own job to do, and it does those kinds of jobs. If we look inside the cell, in a plant, you will see a cell wall. That's different than in an animal. But that cell wall helps protect and support the cell, and it's actually made of non-living cellulose. The cell membrane surrounds the entire cell. It is the outside boundary that separates the cell from its environment. The cell membrane also controls what substances come into and go out of the cell. So there are many different parts to the cells. You will see here on this slide a list of the first 4. I want you to notice the red words in the descriptions. Make sure that when you are typing on your note-taking page on the Cell Basics number 2, that you're including those red words, because those will help you understand a little bit more about the cell and what the actual part of the cell does. So the nucleus is the headquarters. The cytoplasm is the gel-like fluid. The endoplasmic reticulum is the network of passageways, or the carriers. The mitochondria is the energy. Those are the rod-shaped organelles. The ribosomes. The ribosomes are the protein. They are where the cell gets its energy, because we get our energy from proteins. The Golgi bodies. Yeah, I can't say it either. They're the transportation of the cell. They get the materials and then they send it to the other parts of the cells. They're also the waste managers of the cells. They get rid of the materials back out of the cell. Then you have the vacuole. These are found in plant cells and some animal cells. They are the storage, kind of like the refrigerator. They store water and food and waste. The lysosomes, these are in animals only, contain the chemicals. They're the cleanup crew. And then you have chloroplasts, and these are in plant cells only. They're the ones that capture that energy from the sunlight and use it to produce the food, and we call that photosynthesis. That's what gives plants their green look. So on your worksheet, you will see 2 drawings very similar to these, although they're a little different colors and so on. Don't let that throw you. You're looking at the shapes of things. And go ahead and answer the questions at the bottom in the box about the different kind of cells. Go ahead and do that. And this is the end of part 2. So that is actually slide number 19, and you can go ahead and look at that directly and make it large on your own computer as you work on those labels and work together to do that. If you have any questions about cells, go ahead and watch some other videos from YouTube. There are lots out there, and I will be putting together a note sheet that will include resources for you besides this slideshow as well that might help you understand a little bit more about cells. Um, do take time to do this. Do turn it in, attach it, and turn it into Classroom when you're finished. These will be both worksheet 1 and worksheet 2, and there will be a third one coming. Will be the basis for a quiz that we will have next week, where I'll be asking you some questions about cells. So just put that in the back of your head and know that that's coming. So today is Wednesday the 15th, and our quiz will be next week. So just know that it's there. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you another time, and take care and be good.